Did you guys hear about the new FTC rule with non-competes? Who heard about the whole non-compete thing? That effectively the non-compete thing is now being a federal thing, not state. It was always left to the state. Did you hear about this or no? The FTC is announcing officially non-competes are no longer enforceable. That can you pull this up, Rob? Yeah, FTC votes. Can you pull it up, please? You just did. FTC votes to ban non-compete agreements. This is not state. This is FTC. Federal. And the way they spin it is saying creating these elimination of non-competes creates 8,500 new small business owners. Okay? So businesses are now not protected. Screw my guy, I'm going to go do this, take everything away from him. You can no longer sue me. Now the small business owner is not protected. So now some people, because back in the days, a lot of people wanted to start businesses. Now you're sitting there saying, why the hell would I start a business? So first of all, I start a business. I work my ass off training this guy for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Then the non-compete doesn't protect me. He leaves and starts a company and attacks me, takes my business. I can't protect my business.
Steals
and on top of that, and I'm paying 60% now all in taxes if I'm in California or New York, and you want to raise my capital gains. This goes back to the story. I'm in LA. I'm going to Wood Ranch. Do you remember this, babe, where the picture of the girl that was on all the buses, the realtor, and we're at Wood Ranch. I see her face. Say, hey, Patrick, how are you? I said, what do you do? She says, I said, you're the real estate girl. She says, yes. I used to be the real estate girl. I said, how come we don't see your faces anymore on the buses and the benches? She says, because my husband and I sat down and we did math, and after realizing California, you're paying 57% with all these gas taxes, state taxes, all these Obama stuff taxes that they have, we realized it just doesn't make sense for me to work. I decided to stay home. Why pay 57% in taxes? We lowered our lifestyle. We don't want to have that big of a lifestyle anymore. We've compromised a lot of this stuff. These types of behaviors eliminates innovators, job creators, capitalists, and it's literally giving the middle finger to all the business owners that are creating jobs. Thinking being a business owner is such an easy job. Do you know how hard it is to be somebody that owns a trucking company today? Do you know how hard these transportation companies are being beat up today, being down 70%? Do you know how loan officers, mortgage guys are doing today where their refi business is down 85%? Do you know how tough it is right now to run a lot of your business? And knowing the fact that $1 trillion of corporate debt is about to come up to refinance. So I was doing it at 3%. Now it's going to be at 8%. What is the 5% on $1 trillion, additional $50 billion in interest I have to pay? There's so many different things. So you hurt the small business owner. You hurt a lot of people. I'll never forget this. When we were running, and I told the story at SLS, when we were in Dallas, you'll remember this because I just told the story. And Tom, I think you'll remember this as well. In our office in Dallas, a lot of support, 70% of our employees would be on the left. They're Democrats. And this is 2016. Trump he's going through his thing. They cannot stand Trump. They hate Trump. They cannot stand the guy. The conversations will be happening in the office. He can't be the president, all this other stuff. So he gets elected. And I think he lowers capital gains from, what was it, from 39 to like 23%. Do you remember that when he lowered the capital gains from, it was 35 to 23 or something like that?
The Bush tax cuts, yeah.
Yes. So I invite all my employees to my office. I say, guys, come to my office, emergency meeting. Everybody in my office. This is the day after Trump won. I say, guys, how do you feel about what happened yesterday? I can't believe it. It's the end of the world. I'm pissed off. I said, well, I just want to kind of share something with you guys because we got some good news. What's that? Well, now that he's getting elected, he's going to lower capital gains. And what we've decided to do as a company is to give $100 to anybody that's been working for the company per month. So if you've been here for 11 months, it's an $1,100 bonus we're passing over to you. Everyone's getting $100 for every month you've been with the company. And because we're passing some of the tax savings over to you guys. Oh my God, this is so awesome. This is so great. I said, but there's one caveat. What's that? You need to go tweet, thank you, Trump. I said, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But the point is, I explained to them, the reason why you must pay attention to elections is because the more money goes to the small business owner, the more money he can invest into you. And the more you want it to go to the government, all you're telling the world is you trust politicians that they can do better with your money than free enterprise small business owners. That's what you trust. You know what's the difference between competing in politics and competing in free enterprise? Competing in politics, say you all of a sudden like, hey guys, shit, we ran out of $100 billion. What do we do? Johnny, Print another billion. Yeah. Print another 100 billion. In a small business owner, you run out of $600,000. Guess what you do? Johnny, what's that? We're filing bankruptcy. Yeah. You don't get to do that in politics. So I don't know if this is a good idea they're doing. I think their timing is terrible. And we're going to see, I hope a lot of small business owners are paying attention to this, because when you're a small business owner, nobody cares if you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, young, New Yorker, Christian, atheist, Muslim. It does not matter. High capital gains taxes affect every small business owner, especially the way they're setting it up.
I just want to say, number one, what an awesome story from PBD. Respect to you from that, because those are the types of stories that the average employee has to experience. You know, you always say more is caught than taught. When someone catches a check for $1,100 or $1,500 or $500 or $2,000, all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, this capital gains thing, all right. Because if you're making $50,000 a year, even $100,000 a year, the chances of you even learning what a capital gains tax is non-existent. Vinny, what's a capital gains tax?
I concur.
He doesn't fucking know. But the point is, but he's gonna be rich soon. But
I love you too.
That's why we love Vinny. But we've seen what happens when a business owner
This
doesn't
is why
do
Vinny
that.
gets more Minnect.
Yes.
This is what happens, right?
He needs it.
People call and Minnect Vinny for financial advice.
Yes.
Go ahead, Adam.
Yes. By the way, I
this is
also,
egregious, but I'm going to keep going with it.
your constituents love you.
Constituents.
By the way, I
there
also
am.
take hate messages on Minnect for anyone that wants to. But that's what I respect
we'll
about
give
you.
you the opportunity to get
Thank
that.
you. There's plenty of time. But we also see the reverse of that when they don't do what PBD does, when they do what every other major corporation did when they do the stock buybacks. We see what's happened with Boeing. Freaking disaster right now when they do the stock buybacks. But what people don't understand about capital gains is it's oftentimes the last 10% that you would typically give to the government that you use to invest into your company or into R&D or into a new product. And at the end of the day, who do you trust more? The government with your money or with an entrepreneur? I think we all know the answer to that.
And I think one of the things, too, to pay attention to as these tax conversations come up that really points to the mindset of those in government. When you hear Joe Biden, a lot of the Democrats talk about taxes, they always use the word revenue. Well, we're going to raise taxes because we can bring in X amount higher of revenue, et cetera, et cetera. And I've always had a problem with that because of what that means about how they see us. That we exist to generate quote unquote revenue for big government. We exist to serve their existence and their ends rather than what it's supposed to be, which is a limited government that exists to serve the needs of and empower the ability for us to live as individuals in our society. And that mindset, I think, is so important to point out because it's what drives their decision and the why. Like, why would they be doing this now? They are completely disconnected. They say, well, yeah, we've got this opportunity. Whether it's politically smart or not, I think is a different conversation. But they see, okay, yeah, well, if people are doing better under Biden economics, then we've got an opportunity to be able to raise more revenue to be able to pay for Vinny's bigger spending bill to go overseas.
Seriously. For everyone out there that's watching, Tulsi is officially on Minnect. Rob, if you can show her Minnect, the first 50 people that Minnect with Tulsi, we will send you a copy of the book as well signed. We bought copies to get it out there because we are so confident in her message being out there. We feel more people need to hear from her. So the first 50 that Minnect with Tulsi, ask her whatever questions you got. And those 50 names we'll get, we're going to send you a copy. Just make sure you're in America. If you're anywhere else outside of America, we're not shipping to you. If you're not in America, don't do the Minnect. Only in America, we'll ship the copy to your first 50 states. Thank you for that.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.